Good morning, good people. Just checking in. It's a semi-off day for myself. I took some time. I'm gonna go hang out with my baby boy. We're gonna go to the pumpkin patch farm. I've never done that with any of my kids, so I was like, why not? But I've had something on my mind. This is a little trip out in Dinwiddie, so I figured, man, I might as well just get this off my chest now. Talking about politics. Politics, something something I usually don't get involved in. It's just not my arena, you know. My arena is more spiritual warfare, you know. My politics is Old Testament, New Testament, you know. And I just noticed, you know, something that I had to speak on, have to get it off my chest. Talking about the division of the United States, and not for nothing, it started 8 years ago. Well, it started when President Obama was in office, and he won, you know, pretty much, and the country was divided in two, literally. That happened 2 times in a row. But I do remember when he was voted in. I remember the feeling that I had was just like something I never felt before. You know, something that like pride and like we finally arrived. We feel like we have a shot, you know. And what he did or what he didn't do in 8 years, that's, you know, here nor there. I had to be honest with you. Since I'm being honest, I didn't expect him to do much, because every time a president does something to actually help the people, you know what they do to them. So that's a fact, and that's history. Can't debate me on that one. So what I'm saying is, that feeling of pride, you know, it was actually taken away from half a country and then give it to the other half. If you don't see that, if you don't see how half the country was in love and happy, and they're still showing pictures of President Obama with his family and, you know, his beautiful wife and beautiful kids, you know, he's still celebrated, you know, and he always will be, as he should. But then you take that power, you take that pride, you take that and you turn it to another side, to the completely different side. And Democrats, Republicans, I don't care what you call it, it's the other side. It's that side and this side for me, from where I stand. So, but during that time in the 8 years, you didn't hear about people of color walking down the street, you know, hitting people, talking about yes we can, or, you know, assaulting people and throwing them out of their restaurants, telling them, you know, President Trump's in office now. You know, just people doing hateful, mean stuff ever since President Trump was elected. And everything he says, it is racist. It promotes racism. I can't sit here and say Trump is a racist. I won't do it because I don't know him. But I do know this, and don't, you know, this is coming from the heart. I do know that a whole lot of old white men are racist. I'm sorry, that's the world we live in. Thankfully, they're dying off, and hopefully we can teach our new generation, the young generation, not to be that way, not to hate, you know, not to dislike somebody because of the color of their skin. If you don't like me, don't like me because I'm a jerk, you know. And that's pretty much what's going on now. And I look at this country, and I see, you know, the police brutality. You know, that's nothing new. The police has been brutalizing the police have been brutalizing, killing blacks and Hispanics for a long time. So when I hear the Trump people say, let's make America great again, or make America great again, who are you making it great for? I mean, I can understand if you're rich and, you know, you're getting the tax cuts that you deserve and all this other stuff. I get that. That's cool, you know? But what I'm saying is, when you say let's make it great again, who are you making it great for? Don't you understand that you're promoting racism when you say that? Don't you understand that you're promoting some little People have been calling the cops on little black kids for mowing their lawn, for walking around. Little black kids are getting shot dead in the street for having a BB gun. But then you see white kids, white men, running around acting crazy with knives, and they get tasered. Tasered. And you're killing little black kids. Don't you see that? You're part of this Trump army. You're part of this new world order, is what I call them. You're a part of that. Now, you have your hand in that. And you can say all you want as a Republican or as a Democrat about politics and policies, and I mean, there's a lot of car industries going under right now under President Trump. A whole lot of them. So you can't sit there and tell me how great the economy is. It's the same thing. This is what you have to understand. When President Clinton took office, he didn't do anything. I mean, he did his thing, but what I'm saying is everything that he did fell under Ronald Reagan. And everything Trump's doing is falling under President Obama. If anything's changed, it's because President Obama did it. You know? But I'll say this. I mean, I'll go back to President Obama in the same breath and say this is the first president ever not to do something for black people. And I'll leave that there. Because I'm not, you know, this isn't my thing, like defending politicians. No, man, you're all corrupt. But what I'm saying is us as a people, we have to see past their corruption, and we have to love each other and stop calling Democrats, and the left, and the right, and look at each other and be like, yo, we're all family. We're all in this horrible armpit of this world together. And we got to fight together to get those jokers to listen to us, because their job is to serve us. We're serving them. We're all jumping in line talking about I don't know. I just lost my thought. Listen, I took a lot of shots to the head playing football growing up. I lose my thoughts. I think I earned it. But what I'm saying is that we have to look past the division, yo. We have to look past the division. And we have to see that their only job is to keep us separated physically, mentally, spiritually. They want to keep us separated. And they want to keep God out of everything, which is obvious. You know, they started taking God out of the schools in the 40s or the 50s. And look at our country. Look how it's slowly is tearing apart. And I tell you what, Virginia had been under a covenant for a long time. But if you could tell by the weather here in the last couple months, things are changing here in Virginia too. So this is we used to be protected by the Bible Belt, but God's not happy with any of this. God's not. He doesn't like it, you know. He doesn't like to see us brothers and sisters. I don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, whatever. I don't care. You're my brother and you're my sister, okay? And until we get together, until we bind together, until we can say, yo, politicians, no, you listen to us. Until you can do that, if you can do that as a Democrat or even as a Republican, I mean, if you can do that, if you can say, yeah, enough is enough, we have to get together. We have to make one party, and we have to let the people on Capitol Hill know that we're not taking it anymore. I can get into a whole lot of stuff, but I'll just sprinkle a little bit of what this country does to our veterans. What does our country do to our veterans? And why? Why are they doing that to our veterans? Look at that. That thing would have fallen the other way. That's God's grace. What are they doing to our veterans? They come home, they have post-traumatic stress syndrome, and what do? They do one of two things. They put you on some pharmaceutical drugs Either that or just throw you in the street. You know, how many homeless veterans do we have? And how many we have that they're medicating with synthetic drugs? Why not try hemp oil? Why not smoke a joint? I'm sorry, I know it's frowned upon in the church. I get that. But if it comes down between a man or woman's mind who's already been destroyed because of war, if you give them more drugs, it's going to put more holes in their brain. If you give them marijuana, they're going to mellow out. They're going to eat something, they're going to go to sleep. I'm sorry. Look at what our country is doing to our veterans. And then look at ourselves. Split in half. They're doing this to the veterans because they know that when and if the spirit of 1776 decides to rise up again, and I say that for my political my political people, the spirit of 1776 rises up again, who's going to lead that charge? The veterans. So why would they not have them like vegetables? This country's messed up, man. But I'm telling you like this, we're the only ones that can blame for that, because we allowed it. I allowed it. And to all my teachers, there's a movement going around in the United States right now where a lot of teachers around the United States are running for local offices. And I could not think of a better way to start a revolution, which is by local offices, local officials, teachers, people who get paid the least amount of money in the world probably, that have the most important job in the world, and that's our youth. I tell you, I started teaching Sunday school, I don't know, 5-6 months ago, and I can see the difference. The kids who actually come, they listen, and
in a half mile, turn right.
We do an intensive Bible study. You know, I have kids reading the Bible. I stop, I explain, and that's what we do. That's what we do. And I can see the change in some kids. They're listening, they're bringing their Bibles, and that's just literally 6 months. Can you imagine a teacher who did it for 20, 30 years? The heart that they have, the love that they have, without a doubt. Teachers, I'm calling on y'all to get your hot hearts into this local political cluster of shenanigans. Get in there. I know you guys are. Your hearts are there. You know, I think that your heart, I don't care if you're a teacher, you're a Republican or a Democrat, unless you're one of those little nasty racist teachers that I had back in the day. But other than that, you know, teachers they're literally doing God's work, even if they don't know it. And I think it's time, you know, we have to do something new. And a way to start is for teachers to hit the local offices, and it takes all of us. It takes all of us as a people to come together. I'm about done here. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but I'm
in a quarter mile, slight right.
Can I get some of them corns? But this is where I am.
Maybe they'll get tired.
Pumpkin patch. Hope that ain't the pumpkin patch.
It's not true. You know, young people are.
That's like the bootleg patch. I don't know if y'all can see that. But anyways, yeah, I'm done here. I'm doing what I can do. I'm gonna start asserting myself as much as I can. You know, talking to people, trying to figure out a way how we can bring us together and not in the division, you know. And I think honestly it starts with God. You know, you got to start with God. And God, you have to let God into your life, into your heart, and you have to ask him for forgiveness, and you have to ask him for redemption. Because without Jesus Christ, I'm telling you, this is the world that we live in. So If any of you guys have any questions or, you want to know more about Christ, please ask me. Listen, I'm no saint, nowhere near it. But every time I go into church, there's not been one time when I caught on fire. So if I don't catch on fire, I guarantee you ain't. All right, love you guys. Let me get to this this pumpkin patch deal, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.